Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel Travel Confidently. If you're visiting me for the first time, then I would like to tell you that my channel is all about reducing your travel planning time. So without wasting any time, let's crack on. In this video, I will be showing you Edinburgh and you will find top attractions, parking options, walking routes you can take and much more. So for all this, please stay tuned. Edinburgh is capital of Scotland and is in northern part of UK. I have covered details on how to come here, which route to take in my video about what to see in Scotland. I have given the links in the description box below. When you are here, you will be eager to start exploring attractions. But the question is, where to start and how to get there. And that's exactly where you will find this video helpful. Best way to explore Edinburgh is either by walking or by using public transport. You can also use taxi to jump between different places. Some of you might be thinking that why I am against driving in Edinburgh, and the reason is first, you don't have to worry about where to park, second, you don't have to worry about speed cameras, and obviously, you can't enjoy the landscape when you're driving. But for whatever reason, if you still need to drive, then firstly, make sure you keep your eyes open for continuously changing speed limits. You will notice that speed limit in majority of the city is 20 miles per hour and not 30 miles per hour, which you will normally find in other cities. Nearest car park to the castle is NCP's Castle Hill car park, but I personally find it very expensive to park here. For 4 hours, you could lose £20 out of pocket, which probably be more than the cost of return taxi to your room. So therefore, for parking, my preferred option is Omni car park, which is about 20 minutes walk from the castle. Parking price is tad better compared against the NCP car park, and you will save about £8 for 4 hours. You can start your exploration of Edinburgh right from here, and National Monument of Scotland is right behind the car park and is about 10 minutes by foot. This monument was built in 1820s as a memorial to the soldiers and sailors died in war. The hill where it stands today is called Calton Hill. During daytime the views would be very lovely from here, but the sunset from Calton Hill is at another level. It's so spectacular that you would definitely should come and see the sunset from this place. From here, the Edinburgh Castle is about 20 minutes walking. However, there is so much to see on the way that you can easily expect about hour to hour and a half to reach to the castle. After all, you need some cool clicks for your social media accounts, right? Walk downwards from Calton Hill towards Princess Street and then take a left on the North Bridge. You will find plenty of beautiful buildings on this way. When on North Bridge, keep on walking south. On your right hand side, you will get a Pizza Hut and Bella Italia in case you are hungry. After Bella Italia, take the next right on the High Street. It's also known as the Royal Mile. If you keep on following this street all the way till the end, you will reach the castle. From this point, the castle is about 10 minutes walk. On the way, you will see St. Giles Cathedral on your left, which is very beautiful and visit is absolutely recommended. Opening hours for the cathedral is 10 to 2 pm for visitors. For more info, I have given you the links in the description box below. Keep walking and you should be able to see the castle in front of you. There is a large esplanade in front of the castle from where you can get the lovely views of the city. However, if you are coming near August time frame, then this views might be lost as they start to put a stadium type seating arrangement in preparation for the Edinburgh Festival, also known as the military tattoos. If you are interested in the history of the castle, please refer to the link I have given in the description box. Ticket for the castle is £15.50 for adults, and due to COVID restrictions, please ensure you book in advance. Links is in the description box below so as you don't have to Google it. You must be thinking what you can see in the castle when you are in. Well, here are some of the pictures from my trip inside the castle.
Bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time. It's clear to see from up here. The world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell.
Let me know what you think. Is it worth buying the tickets, or you can save the money for a whiskey distillery tour? If for any reason you can't visit the castle in the day, then it's no problem at all. In fact, you should visit the castle in the night as well because you will get mesmerizing views. And if you have planned it well, you can get the best of nature on a full moon night. There's so much to see in Edinburgh that it took me about 3 days just to write the script for this video, as I wanted to present the best way to explore the city for you. And if you're finding my efforts helpful, then please encourage me by commenting below and subscribing to my channel. Once you are done with the castle, you can target the Princess Street, which is the new town area of Edinburgh, and will add a beautiful contrast to your experience. On one side, you will see the new town, and on the other side, there will be a castle separated by very beautiful gardens. There are numerous high street retailers in case you want to shop, but shopping you can do from anywhere, right? So I wouldn't suggest wasting your precious time on shopping. Especially, I would recommend to keep your girl away from Primark. If you're hungry by now, then there are plenty of options to dine. But don't make the mistake which I made. Please book in advance, else you might not be able to find a place in your preferred restaurant. If you would like to eat Indian food, then I quite like the ambience and food of the restaurant called Dishoom. Portion size is relatively small, but food is authentic and finger licking good. It's slightly on the expensive side though. If you're looking for a more reasonable options, then you can also try Indian Lounge Edinburgh. It's close by, about like 5 minutes walk. Food was lovely and would be cheaper than Dishoom, but if I have to choose one, I would always choose Dishoom. If you don't want to eat Indian food and would like to try Thai food, then consider dining at Choparia restaurant, which is the best Thai restaurant in Edinburgh. After food, walking on Princess Street in itself is an attraction and worth visiting. If you walk towards National Monument of Scotland, you will see Scott Monument and Scottish National Gallery on your right. So depending on the number of hours or number of days you have to spend in Edinburgh, you can also consider these two options. Wow, there's so much to see. Is that what you are thinking? Guess what? The list is not finished yet and is nowhere near complete. By now, I have only covered the major attractions in the old and new town. Next attraction which you can visit is Arthur's Seat, which is hard to miss as it's one of the top peak in Edinburgh and is visible from very far. It is about 2.3 miles from the castle and walking will take you about 1 hour to reach there. If you are driving, then you can either use NCP Holyrood Road car park or you can also use Holyrood car park, which is just right behind the Holyrood Palace. It would be ideal, but the only catch is it has only got 90 spaces, so depending on your luck, you might have to wait or might not be able to park it at all. Palace of Holyrood House will be just before you reach Arthur's Seat. This place is the official residence of the Queen in Scotland. Ticket will cost you £16.50 for adults, and you can easily spend about 2 hours there. For more information, please see the link which I provided in the description box below. Also, Scottish Parliament building is right opposite to this palace and is a very modern looking building, adding a good contrast to the scenery. Keep on following the road and you will find yourself in Holyrood Park, from where you can do the hiking to Arthur's Seat. I was having a pram on pretty much all my visits to Scotland, so I'd never get chance to climb up. So please let me know if you've been there. Please comment below how was your experience and was it worth the climb. I believe the attractions I have covered will keep you occupied for 2 to 3 days in Edinburgh. By no means I have covered everything as there is so much to see. I will cover other attractions in my future videos for Edinburgh. If you want to visit more spaces in Scotland, then please see my other video for trip ideas. I hope you have found this video helpful and I'm sure it will save you time in planning your trip to this amazing place. Please comment below if you want me to cover any specific attraction. I will promise to cover it in my next trip to Scotland when this COVID thing is over. Seems like taking ages to get over it. Last but not the least, please support my efforts by sending your comments and subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for all your love and keep traveling. Happy travel, safe travel.